I am and I know who I'm not.
Now, like the song says, she knows who she is, but more important, she knows why.
My opportunity to sing is greatly connected to my desire to share my faith with people, because faith gives you hope.
Her music has charted on the pop charts and the R&B charts, but be clear, she's committed to gospel. So you never really wavered on what you wanted to do with the music.
Nah, never.
From the multi-Grammy Award-winning group Mary Mary, Erica Campbell shares her motivational message on The Pulse.
I believe that success is mine. I believe that love is mine. I believe joy is mine. I believe peace is mine. So I will sing that and I will pursue that.
We've got somebody whose music and talent I've been appreciating for years. I don't know where we start. She's got multiple Grammys and nominations. She's got her own radio show, reality TV show, millions and millions of albums sold, both as a part of a group, a duet, and now as a solo artist. Kinda, because I'm not even sure if we just call you the solo artist, because Mary Mary never really stops. Erica Campbell is our guest today on The Pulse. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I'm honored to be here today.
I appreciate it. It's a lot. Like we don't even have to stretch like your introduction. There's some people you talk to and you're like, they're really talented at what they do. But,
yes, I do lots of things. Lots of things.
You performed at the Super Bowl. Like, what haven't you done?
Let's see.
What's on the bucket list?
I just did Carnegie Hall last year, so that was amazing. I'm doing the Kennedy Center this year, so that's amazing. I still have to do a world tour. World domination is still on the bucket list.
So when you're on the world domination tour, that's when you'll come back and we'll have you as another interview.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. You were kind of born into the church, the gospel background, but how'd you get started?
Oh, well, of course, started singing in church. When it began to get professional, my church choir won the McDonald's Gospel Fest in 1990. And we recorded an album, and we went to Norway and performed and did an album over there. And we had something called Choir Night that was every first Sunday night. And so everybody from the city would come, and we began to get this following. And I knew that singing was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, not just because of the audience, but because I was able to bless lives, encourage people. You know, you saw them cry, but you saw them be filled with joy and hope and expectation of what their life could become because of faith. So my opportunity to sing is greatly connected to my desire to share my faith with people, because faith gives you hope.
So it was singing at a very young age, and you knew you wanted to do this and you love this, but it was also singing gospel and spreading the gospel. That was always your background too.
My dad was like the coolest preacher ever. So he was like the preacher for the bad guys in the neighborhood. You know, if they had problems, they would come to Elder Atkins, and he would pray for them and he would talk with them. Or if girls were struggling with certain things outside of the church, they would come and talk to my mom. So I learned early on that faith could reach the regular person, the everyday person. I didn't grow up in the kind of church where we shunned people or made them feel bad if they did wrong. Because if I'm telling you about this gracious, loving God, then I need to accept people who don't know him and don't live like they know him.
Absolutely. And we're going to get to that. We're going to explore that, because that's a blessing, but it also came with challenges.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which I would imagine, though, and I'm just using my own experience at some of the churches that we have here in Philadelphia who do similar things. Mm-hmm. You know, reaching out to people who are I mean, this is going to get me in trouble, but not the church-going kind of standard crowd. Right. You're reaching out to the people who probably need the gospel. You're going past the choir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we're critical of that.
It's crazy, because if you read the Bible, then you know that's exactly what Jesus did, right? He got in trouble for talking to the woman at the well who had multiple husbands. He got in trouble for talking with someone who was a tax collector, and those were the crooked guys in that day. Well, kind of this day too. Yeah. Nevertheless,
right.
He spoke to those who didn't know who he was, right? The well don't need a physician, the sick do. So I need to take who I am and what I know and this joy that I have to people who don't have it, who haven't had it for a long time, and share it with them. Even when it came time for me to sing background, and I was singing with Brandy and Brian McKnight. It was my pastor who said, I know we usually tell you guys don't listen or sing secular music, but I feel like you're supposed to be there. And I believe it was because of what I'm doing today, reaching the unchurched, reaching the lost with this amazing life-changing love.
So how did you break through? How did it become your thing and your opportunity, your voice?
Well, we got our publishing deal with EMI, that's now Sony ATV, and we wrote for soundtracks and Yolanda Adams and, Prince of Egypt and Dr. Dolittle and all these, Stuart Little, all these big mainstream movies. And then we wrote Shackles.
Yep.
And that was supposed to be for a music soundtrack for the Prince of Egypt, but we kept it for ourselves. The song came out, it went #1, top 5 in the world, still one of the biggest songs that I've had. Like, I can be in a grocery store and hear Shackles, in a shopping mall and hear it. So it happened fairly quickly, but the thing about it happening quickly is you have to keep up with it. And the thing that I have to keep up with is sharing this good news. So I'm not trying to keep up with the charts or a big interview or any awards. I'm trying to keep up with the fact that there's always somebody whose heart is hurting. There's always someone who's broken, who needs a message of hope. It's been working for me all these years. And so I'll just stay on that path, and I won't focus on the accomplishments. While I'm very, very grateful for them, I won't focus on how many records sold and all the things that I do, but I'll focus on the lives that are changed, because that's when you really know that you're making a difference.
Fun fact, I used to host as a intern coming out of college. They wanted me to do all the other stuff at this radio station that my father managed. And the exchange for me doing everything else was that I got to host a Sunday evening motivational, inspirational show. And Shackles was my theme song.
Really?
And
wow.
I don't even know why. I just knew I loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think it's...
songs have that energy that move you, and you don't know why it makes you feel better. And I believe that is the faith, the hope, the love, that's the God in the music.
Shackles was, at one point, was #1 gospel, top 5 R&B, top 10 pop charts, all at the same time. Yeah. And if you listen to the song, as much as people enjoy it in all different genres of music, the message in your music never changed, even when it was different groups, who were appreciating it. So you never really wavered on what you wanted to do with the music, even as everyone else was kind of embracing it.
Nah, never. I remember being asked, you guys should sing something else. You're so successful. Everybody's paying attention to you. Sing R&B, sing pop. And this is going to sound bad, but I don't mean it to. I said, did I win a Grammy with Shackles? Did we go platinum talking about Jesus?
Right.
Then that's what I'm going to talk about.
Coming up next, Erica Campbell tells us why the critics, they never really get her down.
One comment says, I love you, you're great. The next comment says, it's subpar. Go back to Mary Mary. We don't like you by yourself. Of course it stung a little bit. I just kept singing and won a Grammy for the album.